Hey, what's up everyone? It's Julie the Bibliophile here, and today I am going to combine the two aspects of my channel, reading and the Librarians, and I'm mashing them into one with my own original book tag, which is the Librarians book tag. We have 12 questions to get through, so let's get started. Question number 1 is Flynn Carson, and this is a character who has undergone major character development. There are a lot of characters who have undergone a lot of character development, but I chose the character that I chose because I thought his character development most clearly reflected the type of character development that Flynn had, and it was most similar to what we saw in Flynn in Season 2. And that is Mr. Edward Fairfax Rochester from Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. I just finished this book in school last week, and the journey of how you felt about Mr. Rochester was really up and down, loving him, hating him, Jane be with him, Jane run away from him, but in the end, the character development that we saw in him was so incredible, and I thought it was really similar to what we saw in Flynn in Season 2, so that's why I've selected him for this question. Question number 2 is Eve Baird, the Guardian, the woman who is nothing like what she seems. And for this one, you're supposed to pick a book that you cannot judge by its cover. What the cover looks like is totally different from the contents of the book. I don't have a lot of books like this, but I have selected Where She Went by Gail Forman. This is one of the most beautiful books I have ever read in my entire life. And, you know, the cover's not that bad, but it does look a little like stereotypical romance novel, when really the sequel to If I Say it's so much more than that, especially because this novel is mostly about Adam, and this cover shows us Mia. Question number 3 is Jacob Stone, and for this you're supposed to select your favorite classic. Now, my favorite classic is most definitely Of Mice and Men by John Steinbeck. I read this book in the 10th grade, and I had read other works by John Steinbeck that I didn't really like, so I didn't know what to expect from Of Mice and Men, but I loved it so much, and the story is so capturing. Like, it has you on the edge of your seat from cover to cover, and the ending is so unexpected and so sad, and I read the ending in study hall and almost started sobbing my eyes out, and I sobbed my eyes out for Jake Stone, too, so how appropriate. Question number 4 is Cassandra Killian, and for this one, you're to pick the most sciency book on your shelf. For this one, I've selected Mila 2.0 by Deborah Dryza. I read this book like a year ago, a little over a year ago. I still haven't finished the series, which is kind of a problem. I need to get on that. But this is very science-y. It's all science. It's about a robot girl who finds out that she's a robot, and then has to journey with her mother, who she finds out is not really her mother, but her creator. And she faces challenges from the people who were her mother's bosses when her mother was creating her, who want to turn her into a war machine, but her mother just wants her to be a girl. It's kind of like a modern-day Pinocchio, and it's really, really cool, and I definitely recommend it, but it's definitely very science-y. So, Cassandra, Mila. Question number 5 is Ezekiel Jones, and for this is a character who was an unexpected hero, just like Ezekiel. For this one, I've selected Adamus Sutek from the Lorien Legacy series. Adam is awesome, and I don't want to give too much away about him, but he's kind of not what you expect him to be, where he starts on one side of the battle and kind of shifts to another in unexpected ways, and there are many moments in the books where he does some things that are very heroic, totally unexpected for him. It's unexpected for the reader, it's unexpected for the characters around him, so he definitely reminds me of Ezekiel and an unexpected hero. He would get along well with Ezekiel too. Yeah, I like it. Question 6 is Jenkins, the character from Arthurian mythology and legend. So for this one, you're to select a book featuring mythology. For this one, I've selected the Percy Jackson series by Rick Riordan. I'm not going to hold all the books like I have in other videos, but Percy Jackson is all about Greek mythology. All of Rick Riordan's books are mythology, but Percy Jackson is the one closest to my heart. Let's get some Greek mythology in Librarians next season. Oh yeah, I like that idea. You guys like that idea? Because I think it's really cool. But just don't let Zeus or Hera into the game. No, that's a bad idea. Question number 7 is Cal. And this question is, you have the chance to bring back one fictional character from the dead. You can only pick one. Out of all the dead fictional characters that you've read about, you can pick one to bring back from the beyond. Who is it? Spoiler alert for the Harry Potter series. Mute the video until I'm done with this segment, you guys. A. For this one, I've selected Sirius Black from Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. Now, there were so many options that I went through in my head of who I would want to bring back if I could, but Sirius always gets me because I have never, ever, ever, out of all the deaths in the Harry Potter series, out of all the deaths in fictional anything, Sirius is the one character who I've never gotten over. He loved Harry so much, and he was Harry's one shot at family. He was Harry's one shot at real family, and, you know, it got destroyed for him all the time by Peter Pettigrew, because if Peter Pettigrew hadn't given away James and Lily to Voldemort, or hadn't made it look like Sirius killed him, Sirius would have been with Harry after James and Lily died. If Peter Pettigrew hadn't run away in Prisoner of Azkaban, Sirius and Harry would have been together, and Harry could have had a loving father figure from the time he was 13, rather than having a father figure his whole life. But really, you know, that's good too, even if he can't have Sirius from the beginning. But in the end, Peter Pettigrew, the freaking Death Eater, and then Bellatrix Lestrange has to go and kill him. And, you know, right as Harry was finally getting his chance to have a father figure and family, and someone that loved him, and could tell him all about James and Lily, and their lives, and their time together, and what they were like with him, it's all destroyed, and it makes me so angry, and I'm never gonna get over it. Please, why did Sirius have to die? It's not fair. Question number 8 is Evlynn, and for this one, you're supposed to pick a ship who has been through so many storms and hell and high water, but the whole time after everything has proved to be unsinkable. Now, again, a lot of ships who have gone through a lot, but in reflecting Evlynn and what their fights and storms were most similar to, I've selected Lena and Alex from the Delirium series. Now, once again, this is going to get spoilery. I can't really talk about this without it being spoilery, so mute the video until this book is gone. I've selected Lena and Alex despite all other ships that may have been through a lot of stuff, because Lena and Alex went through the kind of storms that even Flynn mostly did, where they were fighting, and they did break up at one point, and they weren't together, but in the end, they were true love. You know, they went through Alex dying, or thinking Alex was dead, and Lena falling for someone else, and fighting, and being apart, and running away from each other, but in the end, they were just as beautiful, and first true loves, and like Evlynn, unsinkable Lena and Alex, despite thinking that they were going to sink for the whole third book. Question number 9 is Jassandra, or Casekiel, or whatever you ship. For me, that's Jassandra, but whatever. For this, you're supposed to pick a book couple or 2 characters who you just want to slap across the head and make them realize their feelings already. For this one, I've selected Sam and Six from the Lorien Legacies series. Now, it's not that these two haven't realized their feelings for each other. They're totally aware of their feelings for each other. They've acknowledged it. They've done things. But really, Six is basically like, I don't want to date you, Sam, right now, because one of us could die, and I don't want you to get hurt, and I don't want to hurt. But really, she's just being so thick-headed about it, and it's so beautiful, but so frustrating at the same time, and you just want to slap them really hard and be like, hey, be in love already. Much like Jassandra. Especially after what happened at the end of Fate of 10, I really need them to just love each other because I'm getting restless. Question number 10 is Ray, and for this one, I'm asking if you could pick one fictional place to personify and have in front of you and meet this fictional place as a person, which would it be? For me, this answer is Hogwarts! I mean, this might be a lot of people's answer, but I want to meet Hogwarts. I really want to meet Hogwarts. What is Hogwarts like as a person? Probably either this really old dude or like Peeves. Like, I don't know, but it would be really cool to see Hogwarts as a person. Like we saw the library in Ray. And like, come on, it's Hogwarts! Question number 11 is Prospero. And for this one, I'm asking if you could bring one fictional character to life, into reality, which one would it be? Another difficult question, but for this one, I've decided to go with Leo Valdez from the Heroes of Olympus series. Now, there's a lot of fictional characters that I love, but I honest to God think Leo Valdez is my soulmate, so I'd love to bring him into reality because he's so adorable and I just want to love him. But I also want him to love Calypso. Like, there's a battle going on here. And finally, our final question number 13, is Season 3! And for this one, you're supposed to pick your most anticipated release. For me, right now, that is Kingdom Keepers The Return, book number 2, Legacy of Secrets. Oh my god, you guys, it's getting so close. It's like a month and a half away until the next Kingdom Keepers book. The Kingdom Keepers books just keep coming. I always get really, really excited about the Kingdom Keepers releases, especially after last year. I read The Syndrome, and the cliffhanger in The Syndrome was not resolved in The Return, because The Return takes place before The Syndrome, apparently, which I thought was very, very frustrating. But now that Legacy of Secrets is taking place after The Return, Legacy of Secrets will most likely catch us up with The Syndrome, but on the other side of things, and I just really, really want to know what's going on with Finn and Amanda. It will be, and Samantha and Sharbeck is not going to be affectionate because Mavic, they're in the 1950s and they're biracial, and I've time travel. Walt Disney, they're going to be Walt Disney an 18-year-old Wade. To complete this tag next, I am tagging the lovely Nancy of Nancy Size Love and my girl Amy of Actual Dragon. I will link both their channels in the description, and I will see you next week. Goodbye!